How are the squad and how are you feeling ahead of this trip to Cyprus?
Really looking forward to it. Big opportunity. Great that we're at this stage in the competition, and we know that to get through would be another big achievement, and to have sort of European football at quarter final level for the last 2 years would be huge for us from maybe where we've been in the past. So looking forward to the game. Not for a minute do I underestimate it or do I take any of it for granted, because I think we've got a tough game in our hands and we've been relaying that to the players.
Yeah, because it's a relatively young competition, obviously the Conference League, but you became the only club to have a 100% record in the group stage.
Yeah,
and that's some achievement. I think so. Use a contenders. This is a competition you can actually go and win.
Yeah, I'd love to win the competition. I'd love to get to the final. I'd love to keep progressing West Ham in Europe. I think that we had a pretty good go at it our first time last year. We're trying to have a go in a different competition this year, but we think that we've got every chance. We think that on our day will be a match for any side, but we also know that on their day any team could get through, because it's just the way European football is. You never know exactly how it's going to go.
I mean, obviously, sometimes you can get a few pessimistic people who are sort of like, well, it's a lesser competition, it's Mickey Mouse, but then Jose Mourinho was in tears when he won it last year. Yeah. I think it shows it's a major trophy that's up for grabs.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think to try and win any trophy, being a football manager, to win any trophy being a football player, if you look at the amount of people who play football or managing football, there's very few get that big opportunity to do so. So, as you're right, what you said is, and we did mention it before, Jose Mourinho showed you how much it cared to him, because he is a serial winner and he saw winning this competition. I think to win any competition in the European stage, and it was really important to us last year. We wanted desperately to win the Europa League, but we couldn't quite get past the semi-final. We've got a job to do to try and reach the quarter-final at the moment. But I think it would be a great achievement if West Ham were talking about being in 2 quarter-finals of European competitions back-to-back. I think that would be seen as a hell of an achievement.
Is it just an opportunity to lift the mood as well? Get away from the Premier?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of mood lifting, because we've had good results. We beat Notts Forest there. We were on the back of some good results. We had a disappointing result. We had a good performance at Old Trafford. We didn't get through, but I think that overall we're now getting into this one, seeing this as a good start to a new week, if you want to put it that way, and looking to get off to a good start.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, Kieran. Jordan.
Hi, David.
Hi, Jordan.
I know you mentioned about the positivity from the Forest game and then playing well at Old Trafford, but just how I know after the game you were talking about the Brighton result, and do you fear that it could have a lasting impact, and that the team now arrive here in quite a fragile state?
Well, I think that defeats are never a good thing, but overall our results in the main, probably since we've come back from the World Cup, I should say, have been probably going steadily up the way rather than down the way. Yeah, I think that the game at Old Trafford took an awful lot out of us, and it really went to the wire, and it was the score I don't think was quite correct in the end. But anyway, it was always going to be a tough game at Brighton, no matter what happened. It was going to be a tough game, and it proved to be the case. But you've got to move on. That's what football does. You always get another opportunity in football, and the opportunity's coming very quick. We've got a great opportunity to try and go here. We've got 2 legs for this game, so we've got home and away. Obviously, we've got to play to try and get to the quarter final of another European competition. So that's the motivation. That's the drive. Whatever's just happened is gone now, and we're certainly focusing on the next job, which at the moment is Larnaca.
And you say Old Trafford took a lot out of you. Is there a slight worry that this competition, these 2 legs, could take a lot out of you with the travel as well? It's quite a long flight. The
difference I see in this is something which we've been doing. We've done it for most of last season, and we know that Thursday, Sunday football's never a brilliant a brilliant situation. But I'll tell you what, all the clubs who are in that top half of the Premier League at the moment are all desperate to get into these competitions. So we're the same. We want to stay in it. I want to go as far as I can and win it if possible. And you know, this competition we started really well, and we want to try and keep it going.
And you've used the last few weeks to remind the fans just kind of how good they've had it in previous seasons and finishes in the league and getting to the semi-final. Can you understand their frustration with that? Because although they have respected what's gone in the past, it's the present that they're most worried about.
Yeah, totally, Jordan. I can see that. No problem. You know, our team didn't perform well in the last game. We know that, and maybe not performed at the levels we have done for most of the last season. So I totally get it. Yeah.
And just finally, you've used this competition this season and in the Europa League last year to blood young players and give other players a run out. But do you feel like you can do that now with, and you're needing momentum, you're needing wins? Do you feel that you need to play a strong, or a fairly strong team tomorrow?
Well, I think if you look at our history in it, Jordan, I think we have blooded a lot of young players. We played players in Bucharest who done really well. We had boys who played against Dinamo Zagreb in the earlier competition last year as well. So I think we've tried to give the young boys the opportunities in the earlier games. I think when you get to the knockout stages, you don't have so many opportunities to recover if your result doesn't go so well. So we've got a first team squad of players which we put together knowing that we had Europe in mind in the first place, knowing that last year we thought we might have just been a little bit short of the level, and we'll put them together. So yeah, we've got a squad of players who can compete in this competition and hopefully be ready as well for the Premier League games.
Thanks, Jordan. John C.
Hi David.
Hi there.
I just wanted to start with a bit of team news. Obviously you had a few concerns going into Brighton, and off the back of it I just wanted to get a bit of an update from yourself on those.
Mickey's travelling with us. He'd a bit of a hamstring he felt after the game at Old Trafford, but doesn't seem too bad at the moment. Tilo, as you know, was sick, so Tilo's travelling with us as well. I'm bringing Maxi Corney with me. He played the other night, but I'm generally not thinking that he's ready to play yet. But I'm bringing him with me to be in the squad. But I think he's a wee bit away yet. Maybe more likely to be ready by after the World Cup, after the international games. That's. But I've got him with me. So yeah, that's probably, I think, a bit of a lowdown in what we've got. Angelo Ibona picked up a little bit of a medial ligament injury, which in the game, which we took him off with more as precaution. He'll be okay. I think Angelo will be okay, and he'll be with us as well.
Just on Vladimir Sufal, obviously he's missed the last couple of games with a heel injury. Just wanted to get an update on him.
He's not with us because he's got plantar fascia, I think, if I'm saying it right, in his heel. And look, time will help it, but he's not available for the game, no.
And just on the game itself, because obviously, Cypriot football is not something that, is very well seen in England or across Europe. What are you expecting from Larnaca as a side?
Well, I'm expecting an incredibly tough game from a side who I feel at the moment have got good momentum in their league. They were top of the league. I know they just dropped off it after the result, I think, on Monday, but they won at the weekend. They've got an experienced team. They've also got a team which have played quite a lot in Europe. They started, I think, in the Champions League, went into the Europa League, and now have found themselves in the Conference League all in the one season. So from that point of view, I think they're a side which has got some experience in these European competitions. And football, you just never know. It sounds easy to say a Premier League team against a Cypriot team might, but I certainly have got no way of thinking that that's the case, and I'm not getting into the game in that way. I'm getting into it as if we were playing any other team. We've had to play a lot of really good teams from Belgium or wherever we've played recently over the last couple of years. So we'll treat this the exact same as we'd treated any of the other games.
And obviously, as you mentioned earlier, you said you built a squad ready for Europe this season. Is this like a good opportunity to show the kind of depth that you feel and the fact you've got cover all over the pitch and can make some changes, but also make it competitive within the squad?
Yeah, I think especially with what we need to do when we've got another game at the weekend again on Sunday. So it gives me a chance to have a look at what we've got and see what players are ready, and also it gives some players big opportunities to show exactly what they can do.
Thank you very much, David.
Thanks, John C. Dom from the Evening Standard.
Thanks very much. Hi, David.
Hi, Dom.
Just one question from me. Declan Rice said after the defeat to Brighton at the weekend that he was disappointed because he thought, and the team thought, that the victory over Nottingham Forest may be a springboard to kind of an upturn in form.
Mm-hmm.
Given that it wasn't, how much is the team looking forward to going away into a competition where, as previously mentioned, all group games were victories, and actually some of the best results and performances this season have come in this competition?
Yeah, I agree. I think we've had some brilliant results in Europe this year. Some really good performances, and a little bit to hang on to. It's given us a little bit of confidence, some of the games we've had and how the team played. So yeah, we'll try and take that into this game and move on quickly. We had a great result against Notts Forest. We didn't have a good one against Brighton. That's a little bit the way we are at the moment. We need to get a little bit better consistency and a bit more steadying all round really. But overall, look, if we can keep up the form we've had in Europe, it'll be great. Anything like we've done in the past will be terrific. We're going to go into the game with that mindset to try and do it again. Also with the knowledge to know that we've got another second leg to play as well, which is at home, and we'd hope to try and use it to our advantage.